Hi everyone. So in this lecture we will see the demonstration of various lifecycle methods of our test class when they are executed in lifecycle per method mode. So friends, in our JUnit 5 project, in test folder, I will be creating one class. I will provide a name to it as lifecycle demo, and I will keep it in a package com.hubberspot.junit5 lifecycle dot per method, because here we are seeing the demonstration of lifecycle methods of a test class when they are executed in per method mode. So we'll click finish. So friends, inside this test class, in order to demonstrate how the lifecycle methods are called, what we'll do, we'll simply create few methods. We will annotate it with @before all, @after all, @before each, @after each, and we'll create few test methods along with constructor, and we'll see the demonstration that how those methods are called and when they are called. So here, let's say first I create a constructor. Because constructor is also a part of test class lifecycle, and inside this constructor we'll simply provide a sysout. We'll provide a string as constructor got executed. So friends, here I am putting this sysout to simply demonstrate that how this lifecycle works. And also friend, whenever an instance of a test class is created, usually constructor is called. So when we will print this line on the console, we will come to know that when exactly the constructor of this test class gets executed. So friends, after constructor, let's say I create few test methods. I give name as test1. I will import @test. In here I will provide a sysout as test1 got executed. Similarly, I will be creating one more test. We'll give a name to it as test2, and we'll give a sysout to it as test2 got executed. So friend, we saw that there are four main annotations which are nothing but lifecycle hooks of our test class. So we'll create few methods and we will annotate those methods with our lifecycle annotations. So here let's say I create a static method. We can provide any name to it. So for time being I have give before all. And also friends, in the last lecture we discussed that we provide @before all annotation on the static methods because they get executed even before the instance of test class is created. So here I will be importing @before all from org.junit.jupyter.api, and will simply provide a sysout as @before all got executed. I will simply cut it and place it on the top of constructor here. And similarly, I will create one more static method just at the very end. We'll give a name to it as after all, and we'll use the annotation @after all over this test method. We'll import it. And also friends, we saw that there are two more annotations, @before each and @after each. So what we'll do, we'll simply create those methods. So @before each. And we also saw that these methods are instance methods and they are not static. We can provide any name to it. So for timing, I'm simply providing before each. We'll give a sysout to it as I will import it. And similar to this method, there is @after each. I will import @after each annotation. So friends, here you can see what we have done is we have created two @test methods. We have provided a constructor, and then we have provided the 4 lifecycle hooks, which is nothing but @before all, @after all here, @before each, and @after each. So friends, here we are seeing the demonstration of lifecycle of a test class when it is executed in per method mode. So here on the class, we simply provide test instance, and inside this test instance, you can see it takes two values, either per method or per class. So in this lecture, we will see how these lifecycle hooks are executed when we are using per method mode. And also friends, one more point, that even if you don't provide this @test instance lifecycle per method annotation, JUnit 5 takes this implicitly. So even at provide or not provide, this will be taken. So let's say I keep it as lifecycle per method. Now what I will do, I will simply execute this test class. So here you can see that 2 test cases got executed successfully. And if I open the console, so friend, here you can see the flow which we discussed in our previous lectures. So how it works is, the first method to get executed is @before all, which is a static method. And after executing @before all, JUnit sees that there is a @test method. So as we are discussing this lifecycle per method, we know that for each and every @test, a new instance of test class is created. So whose proof is here, that for first @test, the constructor was executed, and just before executing @test, it also saw that there is @before each. So @before each got executed, and then our first @test method got executed, which is nothing but test1 here. And after it got executed, it saw that there is a method annotated with @after each. @after each method got executed. So after completing the lifecycle for first @test method, JUnit saw that there is another @test method. So what it did, it again instantiated the test class, as this constructor was called, then before each was called once again, then test2 got executed, and then after each got executed. So once the after each got executed, JUnit saw that there is no more @test methods. So just at the very end, it saw that there is a static method after all, having annotation after all. So that got executed. So friends, here we can see that before all and after all gets called only once during the test lifecycle. And here before each and after each are called multiple times depending upon the number of test cases we have. Also friend, as it is a static method, therefore frameworks execute it before even creating the instance of this class. So if I remove this static and if I run the test case, you will be seeing an error. So here it throws JUnit exception saying @before all method must be static unless test class is annotated with @test instance lifecycle per class. So friend, as we are discussing the lifecycle per method, we have to provide a static over @before all annotated method, which is the required thing, and we can skip this static on @before all annotation only when we are using the lifecycle per class mode, which we will be seeing in our upcoming lectures. So here I will simply make it static. So friends, in this lecture we saw that how we can use the test instance lifecycle in the per method mode. We saw different lifecycle hooks method, and we saw their working demonstration in lifecycle per method mode. So friends, I hope you like this video. Thanks, have a nice day.